Hello, welcome to a special edition of Get Lit. This edition is going to be just a little different and kind of special. We've gone around to all different staff to ask them what materials that we have put them in a mood for the season.
So join us as our library staff presents their favorite holiday material, be it a book, a movie, a music, a recipe. Find out.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I want to tell you today about my favorite holiday movie. It is called It's a Wonderful Life. And this is the perfect time of year for this movie, especially with all that we've gone through with COVID. Holidays are sometimes happy for some and not so happy for others. And this great movie takes you through the life of one person who thinks that everything is really bad but realizes how wonderful it is. And I think this time of year more than ever, it's a good reminder for us to know that no matter what we face, no matter all the challenges we have so many great things to be thankful for.
Hi, my name is Wenling. I'm a librarian here at the Scottsdale Public Library. Today I'm going to tell you my all-time holiday favorite movie, When Harry Met Sally. I watched this movie a long time ago when I was still in college, but the feeling I got from watching that movie stayed with me all this year, and every Christmas I thought about this movie. The dialogue, the fashion are just absolutely wonderful, and not to mention how cute Meg Ryan was in that movie. So if you get a chance, grab a copy at the Scottsdale Public Library. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Hello. One of my favorite parts of the holidays are the Christmas carols. My favorite is Silent Night. There are many wonderful stories about the Silent Night. Perhaps my favorite of that is the one that took place during World War I on Christmas Eve in 1914. In this story, the German and the British troops that were in the trenches stopped and spent the evening singing Christmas carols back and forth. The Christmas truce was actually a series of ceasefires that took place along the Western Front in 1914. Although it was not an official truce, and in some areas the fighting continued, it was thought that up to 100,000 British and German troops took part. Troops sang Christmas carols in the trenches and met in no man's land to exchange gifts and souvenirs. The story continues. You can find it in the Smithsonian Book of World War I. We also have other books on World War I where the story would be included. You can also research Wikipedia. And we do have the DVD, Joyous Noel, also about the Christmas truce of 1914.
Hi, my name is Erin Kraus-Riley, and I'm the Adult Services Coordinator for the Scottsdale Public Library. And this holiday season, my family and I will be selling both Christmas and the Jewish holiday, Hanukkah. So I wanted to talk about something that's important in all Jewish holidays, which is the food, which leads me to some cookbooks I'm going to talk about. I was watching a show the other night, and one of the gentlemen was talking about Jewish holidays, and he said the essence of all Jewish holidays is we were persecuted, we survived, let's eat. And Hanukkah, the Jewish holiday that comes around this time of year, is no different. So I have a couple of cookbooks. The first one is called Eat Something, which is the stock phrase of most Jewish mothers and grandmothers. I'll show it a little more carefully here. It's by a couple of guys who own a string of delis in the Bay Area in California, and they grew up eating all kinds of Jewish foods and decided that they were going to make their life selling Jewish food to all kinds of people. And they have great recipes in the book for everything from matzo ball soup to latkes, which are the Hanukkah traditional food, because they are basically potato pancakes fried in oil, and the use of oil at Hanukkah celebrates the victory of the Maccabees and the reclaiming of the Jewish temple after a solid 100 years of war. And the case was that they had one night's worth of oil to burn in the lamps at the temple, and the oil miraculously lasted an 8-day period when they could go ahead and refine some new oil. I don't know exactly what the process was back in the BCs, but however it worked, it was miraculous. And so now we celebrate this Jewish holiday by eating donuts, latkes, and all kinds of other fried food, which is super enjoyable and a wonderful way to celebrate any holiday, I think.
Happy holidays, everyone. My name is Andrea, and I just wanted to share one of my favorite Christmas traditions. When I was growing up, I used to watch Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the animated classic from the 60s, every year. And even to this day, any reference to the Grinch or the music or this particular film makes me super happy, and I try to watch it every year.
Hi, I'm Kate, and I have a couple picks for holidays. The first one I'm going to talk about is one I happened upon quite by accident, sitting on the desk of a colleague. I wasn't, the book was. But the cover of it so took me that I had to find out more about it, and it's called, as it happens, Happy Vegan Christmas. I already knew from the title it wasn't American, because we tend not to say happy but Merry Christmas, so I wondered if it was British. It turns out that the author Caroline Jönsson is Swedish, and even if you are not vegan, just this look into that part of the world during the wintertime is such a pleasure. All of these beautiful photographs, sort of matte finished photographs of Sweden at Christmas time, are truly lovely. And I want to emphasize here too that a lot of people, when they are hesitant to look at anything vegan, think, well, it's going to be a substitute for something I'd rather eat. But what you will see if you really delve into such recipes is that they are wonderful in their own right. And a lot of us who bake bread may already know that by default, a lot of bread recipes are already vegan. Unless you're eating brioche, in which case congratulations on you for staying so slim. But there are lovely bread recipes in here, and the lady really knows what she's doing. Plus things specifically pertaining to Christmas. You will want to make the ginger cake recipe, and there is a beautiful orange, cranberry, and almond scone recipe that's just wonderful. And she also has lovely ideas for decorating, which we talked about in an earlier segment of Get Lit. She says that you can make garlands out of dried blood orange and orange peel, and that dried blood orange segments or sections look like jewels up against the sun in the window. And then also for, have you ever thought of a bundt cake mold as a mold to make a lantern? You can freeze water in it and turn it up outside and put a tea light in it outdoors, even here in the desert at this time of year, and make a beautiful outdoor lamp. Just the pictures in and of themselves are such a pleasure, and you'll really find much to love in here. So remember, Happy Vegan Christmas, Caroline Jönsson.
Hi guys, this is Chris McGinley here, librarian here at Civic Center, and the film that I chose that really brings some good holiday spirit to me is The Hobbit 2, directed by Peter Jackson, Academy Award winning Peter Jackson. The reason that I like it so much is, this came out in December, and me and my friends, we used to get together, watch Lord of the Rings on VHS, how it's supposed to be enjoyed, and then we all went to the movie theater to see the Desolation of Smog, which is The Hobbit 2. We're big Hobbit heads. We love The Hobbit. It's one of the better of the trilogy. And I really think for the people who did enjoy this film, one of the nice parts is that, and if you're a reader of the books, you should know this, that they actually brought Legolas from the Lord of the Rings and put them into The Hobbit. And that was sort of unexpected. Hollywood sometimes has a good way of sort of making it a little bit bigger, and I think that's what they really did with this. So I do give it 5 bags of popcorn, and I think a little library card to check it out here at the library.
Hi, I'm Monty from the Scottsdale Public Library, inviting you to come over to the Civic Center Library, downtown Scottsdale, where, if you're in safe with a good mask to cover your nose and mouth, you can come in and check out what we've got right over here. We have holiday books and books in Spanish and English, And you can see our castle that still looms tall in the background. Walk right up to the gate and go inside the tower and maybe read a little bit. One of my favorite books I like during the holiday or any time really is Let's Eat a Comer by Pat Mora, who I had a chance, just an opportunity years and years ago to just happen to meet at a party, and then years later find out that she was one of the best authors that write things in English and Spanish. It's a real simple book, and the simplicity of it all is family and feeling at home, which this has been my home for a long time, and we have so many people I've seen through the years that like the library as a home too. One of the things they like to be able to do is get together and eat all sorts of things in a small number and have a good time just sitting around the table and just talking about things, talking about food, looking at food, and then coming to see what they value most during the holidays. A good message in English and Spanish. It's simple. Stop by the Scottsdale Public Library and Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas.
Hi, my name is Thomas. One of my favorite Christmas movies, it's a relatively new Christmas movie, is The Night Before. I usually watch it with my lovely lady every Christmas Eve. One of the reasons why I like it is because it's not a traditional Christmas movie, and it's pretty far out.
Hi, I'm Lisanne at the library. I'm here to tell you about the book that I read every holiday season that makes me happy. Holidays on Ice by David Sedaris. I have 2 copies here. So the Santaland Diaries is one of the stories in the book, and it is about David Sedaris' time working as a Macy's elf during Christmas. It is so funny. If you don't know who David Sedaris is, he has a sardonic wit. He was named the funniest person alive by Time Magazine and The Economist. He has many other collections of stories that are very funny.
Hi everyone, my name is Kira, and one of the things that I like to do, especially if I'm feeling a little bit down or just need something to cheer me up, even though I'm a grown-up, I love to read the Curious George books. They enlightened me when I was little, they enlightened me as an adult, and it's just a nice, fun, easy read about a mischievous monkey and how he gets through life working with the man with the yellow hat. So if you have not checked out a Curious George book, I highly recommend it. It's really a cheery, uplifting book. So check out Curious George.
Hi, this is Jennifer. My husband and I, to get in the mood for the holidays, have had a 10-plus year tradition of watching Love Actually. We like to watch it while drinking hot chocolate and wrapping presents, and most of the time we watch it on Christmas Eve.
And another great book about Jewish food is this book called The 100 Most Jewish Foods, which of course also talks about latkes. There's a nice substantial chapter on latkes and all different ways you can make them, but it also talks about a lot of other foods we're all familiar with, like bagels and lox and matzah and those canned macaroons that they sell in the supermarket at Passover. And it also talks about the scrumptious black and white cookies that are on the front of this book too. So I think it's worth a look. I hope you enjoy one or both of these cookbooks and learn something about Jewish foods and enjoy some at the holiday. Thanks.
Hi everybody, I'm Mike. When I want to get in the Christmas spirit, there's a movie I turn to. It's a newer one that I think is destined to become a classic. It's called Anna and the Apocalypse. It is a Christmas zombie musical about a young woman getting out for Christmas break from high school when zombies overtake her small town. It's a lot of fun, a little horror elements, but nothing too scary. And I even like the songs. That's not like me. So if you want to get in the Christmas spirit, give Anna and the Apocalypse a shot.
Hi everybody, Kate again, and I have another, maybe a little more unusual recommendation for the holiday season. This is a book for children, a chapter book. It's fairly long, that I didn't read until I was an adult. It has the pleasure of also being a ghost story. It's a Christmas story and a ghost story. Highly unusual. It is called The Children of Green No by L.M. Boston. If you like this book, you'll like the others in the series because this is the first in that series. It's about a newly orphaned boy named Tolly who goes to stay with his grandmother really out in the middle of nowhere in a cottage at the end of the woods that tends to get flooded. And the area is almost completely flooded when he shows up. He has to be canoed there by one of the lady's helpers. So let me give you just a little idea here. When he gets to the big manor house, he meets Toby, his mischievous little sister Lynette, and their brother Alexander, who plays the flute. The children warmly welcome Tolly to Green Knowe, that's the name of the place, even though they've been dead for centuries. But that's how everything is at Green Knowe. The ancient manor hides as many stories as it does dusty old rooms. And the master of the house is great-grandmother Old Knowe, whose storytelling mixes present and past with the oldest magic in the world. And there are definitely good guys and bad guys in this story. There's also a band of thieves who we don't know who's who at the beginning and find out who they are later. By the way, you don't want to be one of the bad guys in this story, or you might meet in the middle of the woods with the statue of Saint Christopher covered with leaves and snow, and he may come after you. He's one of the good guys, and he's pretty scary. This is a very interesting story that will stay with you for years afterwards. Children of Green Knowe, LM Boston. Happy holidays.
Hello, I'm Pat. And as we know, every family has their holiday traditions. In our house, when I was a young girl, my mother and father would sit us down on Christmas Eve, not allowed to open any presents, but we had the magnificent joy of sharing towards the night before Christmas. I continued this with my children, and now I'm so pleased to be able to continue this with my grandchildren, as I'm sure many of you are doing as well. The book by Clement Moore has wonderful illustrations. Here we are towards the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimneys with care in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. And there he is. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger alongside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. Merry Christmas to you and happy holiday to your family. Thank you.